Everyone, it's Chima Yukiria here, and I've missed you guys. I'm really sorry that I've been off for so long. I've been waiting to share my good news with you guys before I come back on. I was really down and waiting for this good news. Like anyway, welcome back to my channel, and I hope you hit the like button. I'm so sorry, but I won't be taking this very long break anymore. Please don't forget to like and share my videos as you watch. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the different types of Australian visa and what they entail. Yeah, so stay glued and watch this very video to the end. Let's talk about the process of visa application, what it entails. I've talked about this in a previous video that there are different routes to get the permanent residency visa. Whatever routes you take, they are all the same. So there's the 186 visa, which is the one that an employer nominates you for. I need to make emphasis on this visa because most people feel like the 186 visa is like the tier 2 visa that is tied to your employer. So the 186 visa is not in any way tied to your employer. It's just that you get an employer in Australia, and then the employer nominates you, more like telling the government, oh, this person is beneficial to us, this person is coming to work for us, please give or offer this person a 186 visa. We are happy to offer this person a 186 visa, a permanent residency visa. And upon obtaining that visa, you are not legally tied to that employer. You could decide not to work for that employer, but guys, for morality's sake, please work for your employer. The contract is usually for a period of 24 months, but you could leave before that 24 months. And the beauty of going with this 186 visa is employer offers you a relocation package. The least relocation package I've seen so far is like 5,500. The highest I've seen so far is like 32,000. So most of the regional areas, like those interior villages that really want people to come to their place and all of that need healthcare workers in their place, they offer more. But anyway, as a babe, I don't want to go to the village, I want to live in town. So for the cities, they offer between 10,000 to 20,000 relocation package, and this money is given to you on refund basis. It's given to you on arrival. It's not story. So they give you the $25,000 on arrival, and it's huge. It's a lot. The money is going to help you settle down. From all I know, from information I've gotten from people so far, they usually give you the money within 2 weeks to 3 weeks on arrival. Different hospitals and their different policies, but so far this is what I know from my friends and colleagues who've gone there and received their money. It didn't take more than 3 weeks for them to get their relocation allowance. And most employers also offer you accommodation. Some of them in the major cities don't. Some of them you have to sort your accommodation yourself, but majority of the employers will offer you a temporary accommodation. This is not free anyway, you have to pay for it, but at a subsidized rate. So the 186 visa is also very flexible in the sense that you could live anywhere in Australia. Yes, so when you leave your employer, if you decide not to work for an employer, you don't have to apply for another visa. For crying out loud, it is a permanent residency visa. It's not like the 482 or the tier 2, the 482 visa, which is like the temporary visa in Australia, and it's more like the tier 2 visa anyway, that's tied to your employer. So when you lose your job, you lose the visa. No, this is a permanent residency visa like the ILR. So if you decide to leave your employer, let's say you work in Tasmania and you leave your employer in Tasmania and you decide to move to another city like Melbourne, you don't need to apply for a new visa. You're a permanent resident, so you just go ahead and move. It's actually very flexible. Now there's another visa that is as flexible as this, if I'm more flexible, and that's the 189 visa. And this 189 visa, how do you get it? It's also a permanent residency visa, but through a different route. You don't need an employer to get this one. So for this visa, you have to apply for it. You have to like fill out an expression of interest form, go to the immigration website, search for 186 visa, check for the details, read through. I think you need to have your English test, your skill assessment. You need to be of a certain age. All the informations are on the Australian immigration website. So just search for 189 visa, and you see all the you get all the informations there. So for this particular visa, you apply to the federal government, more like you're applying to Australian federal government per se, and it is the federal government that nominates you for this visa. So when you do an expression of interest, they look at it, and if you qualify, then they give you what is called an invitation to apply for the visa. You are invited to apply for the 189 visa. Now, this is the most flexible visa of all, because you are not responsible to anyone, you are not tied to anyone, you're not attached with any employer. You could live anywhere you want freely in Australia. You could move around. And what the beauty of 186 visa is, it's just as flexible as this. There's no difference. And it's actually the quickest of all. The grant comes very easy. You know, with 189 visa, you have to wait. You do the expression of interest, and then you wait. Some people get it very easy. Some people, it takes them a very long time to like get invited to apply after they've filled out the expression of interest form and submitted online. And after the visa application, it takes about, from all I know, it takes about, a novel I've read anyway, it takes about, for healthcare professionals, I'm talking about specifically, everything I'm saying is about healthcare professionals. It takes about 1 month to 7-8 months for this particular 189 visa to be granted. But for the 186 visa, it takes about 14 days to, if your documents are complete, 14 days to 60 days maximum, you should have gotten it. But my case was different, and I'll tell you why. And then lastly, there is another PR route. That one is the 190 visa. So with the 190 visa, you also have to like do an expression of interest, but the difference with this one is you have to apply to a state. You have to be nominated by a state. So, you know, Australia have different states. They have the New South Wales, they have the Tasmania, there's Western Australia, there's Northern Territory, and a whole lot, and the rest of them. So you have to like apply to a specific state. Let's say you're applying to Tasmania, and Tasmanian government nominates you for that PR. The clause attached to this one is you need to live in that particular state for 2 years before you can now freely move anywhere in Australia. So if you ask me, the best visa to go for, the best PR route to go for, is either you go through the 189, which is a federal nomination, or you go through the 186 visa, because these two PR routes are very, very flexible, very, 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 very flexible. And but the thing is, whichever way you get your PR, please go for it. If it's a 190 you got, that's fine. If it's a 189 you got, that's fine. If it's a 186 you got, congratulations. You know, at the end of the day, it's the end point that matters, and the end point is that you are going to be a permanent resident. And the beauty of all these things is whether you got a 189 or you got a 190 or you got a 186, if you are relocating from another place to that place to work, you are still entitled to the same relocation package. Everyone is entitled to the same relocation package. If the relocation package being offered to a person on 186 visa is 10,000, 10,000 will be offered to the person on 189 visa. 10,000 will be offered to the person on 190 visa. So there isn't much difference per se. You know, people try to make it look somehow like, oh, I want to go for the 189 visa, I want to go for 190, I want to go for 180. There's no difference. The only difference I see is that with the 190 visa, you have to live in that particular state for 2 years, and therefore you need to be sure that you actually want to move to that place before you do an expression of interest for that particular place. So that is it. But anyway, I wish all of you on this journey good luck, and I hope you all get your Australian permanent residencies sooner than later. And I hope to see you in Australia very soon. Good luck.